Okay, so now I'm going to do, after the 4 hours of rising, I'm going to dump out the bread dough and turn it into 2 loaves. So it's going to need, after you dump it out and form it into the 2 loaves, then you're going to need to let it rest for another 30 minutes to an hour before you're going to put it in some baskets. So what I was going to show you is I use these baskets now. They come with these like removable, I guess they're like tea towel or linen liners, and as you can tell, I just reuse them and every time. But you can also use a basket with just a tea towel lining it. And then, so you have your clean work surface, and you have your flour and your bench scraper. So it's actually midnight, so I only let it rise for 3 hours instead of 4. But as you can tell, it's risen quite a lot. But I can't wait another hour for it to rise. It will rise a little bit more, but it will just have to make do because I've got to go to bed. So just like dust your surface with flour, and then you're going to scrape the dough out of the bowl, and it will be very sticky. So the trick is just to not, just be very light with your fingers, but also very confident. It's the only word I can think of. Just like let it know who's boss. So here's your dough. And then what I do is I use my bench scraper and I just divide it in half. And you can weigh out the loaves if you want them to be exactly the same, but I kind of just do like about the same. Sometimes I'll kind of like pick it up and see like, okay, those feel about the same. So awesome. But I just eyeball it. So to form a loaf, what you're going to want to do is use your bench scraper in your right hand and have your left hand out, and you're basically going to be taking, I hope you can see this, taking the dough and folding the top down to the bottom, and then you're going to pick up the right side and fold it over to the left. Then you're going to take the left side and fold it over to the right, and then the bottom and fold it up to the top, and then turn it 90 degrees, and then you're going to do the same thing. So bring the top over, bring the right to the left, bring the left to the right, bring the bottom to the top. And then I kind of will then start just turning it 90 degrees and lifting the bottom up to the top. So you're basically trying to form it into like a package, kind of. And I try to use as little flour as possible, because I find that the flour makes extra like little pockets that I don't want to have. So, and then after I've kind of got it in a semi-manageable form, I will pick it up and use my hands to, I don't know if you can tell, basically I'm taking the bottom and forming it up around the top. So this helps to make like a more firm like surface, which helps to form a better crust. And then I will put more flour down, and then what's on the bottom here is going to become your top. So you're going to flip it over and have your little formed like surface on the top with the last fold that you did on the bottom. And this is going to rest for 30 minutes. So I'm going to do the other one here if you can see it. So starting from the top and folding it, and then the right, and it doesn't really matter, just get those four corners in, the top, the right, and the bottom, and the left. They say like an envelope, and then just start trying to make, you're just making a whole bunch of folds and forming it. And this is a really important step to making the bubbles in your sourdough very even. So anyways, now that it's kind of more manageable, this is not in Tartine's method. This is in Peter Reinhardt's method of sourdough, which I guess I'm combining both methods of bread forming, because I've found I like both the folding with the envelope and the kind of making of, basically like, I don't know, making like a little, you know, like letting the gravity of the bread fall down between your hands, and then like cinching the top like a little pouch. And then so I have the last fold I did on the bottom, I'm gonna flip that over, and you have your second little loaf. So these are gonna spread out, as you'll see in just 30 minutes. They're gonna really relax. So I'm gonna cover it with a tea towel or with my linen cloth, and then I'll show you. This is the first formation, and then the second formation I'll show you in 30 minutes.